Hello, good morning. Watching Breakfast with Louise and Dan today.
Let's get you up to date on things that are happening. We've been hearing this morning about the growing concern over the spread of the Indian variant of coronavirus. So what do the latest figures tell us? The northwest of England has seen a significant rise in cases of the Indian variant over the last fortnight.
Our correspondent Phil McCann.
And England can book their jab as well. Thank you.
More than 50 years after the disappearance of 15-year-old Mary Bastone, police have found what they're calling possible evidence that she may be buried at a cafe linked to the serial killer Fred West.
An excavation of the site in Gloucester will now take place following exploratory work.
Let's speak to Geoffrey. No, Gloucestershire police haven't told us or confirmed what exactly they have found, but they will start to dig up parts of that cafe linked to the serial killer Fred West. And it's thought that there is enough evidence, they say, for that excavation, a full excavation, to begin. So we'll bring you any further news as we get it.
We will. 7:46. Sally's here, and there's one topic of
related, because one of the
you should have said a chocolate related.
One of the top trends on social media yesterday was actually the flake, because apparently there's a shortage of flakes because people are buying ice cream. Now, Sally is convinced that it's simply a marketing. Sorts of theories about why they're called 99s.
Why are they called 99s?
I like this one, OK? In the days, obviously, Italians are famous for their ice cream. In the days of the monarchy in Italy, apparently, the king had a specially chosen guard consisting of 99 men. And subsequently, anything that's really special or first class is known as a 99. So that is one of the... That's one of the...
And I like that.
There you go.
Should we catch up with the weather? And Carol is out and about. She's got the most wonderful views for us today. She's in the London Eye, and we're having a different view every time. It's just fantastic, Carol. Morning.
Morning.
Much, Carol. Thank you.
Enjoying the scenery behind Carol's story.
I mean, you couldn't have asked for a better day, could we?
We timed it very well, haven't we?
Have you been up there in the pouring rain? I have.
I have, yes. You can't see a thing. It's struggling to
It's
see the
very
House of
dramatic,
Parliament.
but not the same. So human contact and interaction were part of day-to-day life. Remember that pre-pandemic world? But after months of being isolated from family and friends, there's something many of us will never take for granted again.
As sleepovers, larger social gatherings and hugs are now allowed for those who want to do that, some long-awaited reunions are taking place. Here's our very own Jane McCubbin.
Oh, that's going to get me going.
Does that set you off, Louise? You all right? No. It just feels like it's been such a long time, isn't it?
It's been such a long time, hasn't it? Gosh. Anyway, headlines will be coming up in just a moment.
Well, Harry and Meghan both feature in...
Plans to protect and restore the natural world for future generations will be announced by the government later on today.
For the first time, legally binding targets in England will be set to try to halt the decline of certain species by 2030. Our science correspondent Victoria Gill can explain.
If you've been watching us all morning, you will know that Carol is out and about for us on the London...
Much for that, Carol. I'm listening very carefully to what you're saying, Carol, but also enjoying the scenery behind you. Really...
Board a flight this time yesterday. Look where she is now. She's on the beach. I know you're there for journalistic reasons, but it does look also lovely.
I feel like we're almost having a sort of a bit of a holiday ourselves.
We've got. It's, honestly, this programme today is packed with lovely views. Here comes another one. 8:20. I'm home to 250,000 plants. The UK's largest accessible walled garden.
Good morning. You're watching Breakfast today with Louise and Dan.
Right after the programme this morning, the Rip Off Britain team will be continuing a special week of live programmes. Angela, Julie...
Later on, we're here until 9:15 and then the Rip Off Britain team take over.
Yes, Sally's here to talk to us about... I mean, I just don't even... She's inspired...
Want to keep an eye on at the Olympics. It'd be amazing to see if Helen can do it again. Now,
with all the hand sanitizer, face coverings and temperature checks, it wasn't exactly business as usual when theatres reopened last night. But make no mistake, the show did go on.
After a long wait, audiences returned to auditoriums across Britain to watch everything from The Mousetrap to the play we were talking about yesterday, April in Paris with Joe Pasquale. Ben Boulos reports from the West End.
It's good, isn't it?
Louise is off to the theatre next week.
How many times I've mentioned that?
I think I know your diary as well as you.
Better than I do. In other news, a campaign asking businesses to do more to improve inclusion for people with disabilities has finally met its goal just after 2 years of hard work.
Yeah, it's brilliant news. And Nina is... if you're wondering what's happening with the weather today, you can listen to what Carol's got to say, but you can also have a look at her gorgeous backdrop today because she has been all morning at the top of the London Eye. Morning, Carol.
Really enjoyable to be able to see it as well, and just such a lovely day. Thank you all.
Only Carol can get that underline to stop as well. It stops for Carol's weather throughout the day. Is that right, Carol? They've stopped it for you every time. She's gone.
She's gone. Yes. They're putting it down.
It's 8:53. Now, last year, as staying in became the new going out, we got used to that, didn't we? We swapped the pub for the sofa. Getting lost in a good book has proved incredibly popular.
Yep, sales soared. A TV book club series, Between the Covers, aims to celebrate the nation's joy of reading and sees well-known celebrity faces give their thoughts on some of this year's most in-demand novels.
Radio DJ Sarah Cox hosts the show, and delighted to say...
Morning!
She joins us this morning. Good morning. Oh, I'm disappointed you haven't got bookshelves behind you. Then we can see what you've been reading.
My books.
Oh, that's a bit disconcerting, that one, isn't it?
So tell us, that was a thing about the pandemic, wasn't it? Lots of us turned to reading, didn't we?
Have gone crazy, haven't they? And I think as well as people have been watching TV, a lot of people have been reading books, and also, which is perfect for your programme, talking about them to other people.
What kind of books do you like?
Not wishful thinking, right. I wish I could read.
You read, that's what I wanted to ask you about, because we heard from Helen Glover, who's basically fitting in her exercise around her children, around her life. So have you found yourself having to read at all times while you're doing loads of other stuff?
Thank
you.
So
lovely to see you both. Bye.
See you later,
the next episode of Between the Covers will be on Monday evening, 7:30 on BBC Two, and you can catch up with the series so far on the iPlayer as well.
You're watching BBC